Yes, I have an office because I have to have a physical address, but
Yep.
honestly, I really don't go there. And now that I'm able to take this to the next level,
Yep.
I can't tell you how excited I am about meeting with these new potential clients next week virtually and have them feel that they
Yep.
are literally sitting in my office.
I love it.
That's going to set it apart. Then they're going to go back to the realtor that referred them over to me and say, thank you so much for sending John
Yep.
Money McKinley our way because there's not another guy out there doing what I'm going to do at this level.
Hey, Don Pikula here. And what you're about to see in this video, I don't normally do. This is a behind the scenes, a pullback of the curtain, a live look at what was a VIP recording session where we were developing our own studios from our home, from our office, from our laptop that would create either TV shows, video podcasts, video marketing, take care of all of those needs, potentially replacing studios that are worth hundreds of thousands for pennies, fractions, slivers of that investment. I'll give you this live look in, and if there's something you're interested in pursuing or doing, subscribe to this channel, like our videos. It really help us out getting this out to more people who are already spending large sums of money, huge sums of money, to have, in some cases, an even less impactful result of it. Do you have a scene where I can put you in the middle? Do you have like the me scene established?
Yes, one me. That's the one I'm running right now
Okay.
in my OBS.
So all you got to do in this scene, I got to put you in the middle and center you a little bit. So
Okay.
because the
So I
idea
need
of no,
to.
you're fine. The idea of the one me scene is that you look like you're just in Zoom. Like
Oh,
I used to call it incognito, is what I used to call it.
let
And in fact,
me
I
do
was
this
just
then.
spiking on the CPU. I should be good now.
Let
There we
me
go.
move me. Let me
Yep.
see if I'm doing this correctly now.
Yep. And then expand. Perfect. And I'd go a little bit bigger. So just like you, yeah, just like that. Just like you were in Zoom. That's perfect.
Okay, and then go back here and lock the Insta camera. All
There
right,
you
does that
go.
look better now, sir?
Perfect. At least for this scene. I thought maybe there was PowerPoint coming next to you or the Zoom scene, but for this scene, this is designed to look as if you have nothing special. It looks like you turned your camera on and we're ready to rock. Talk to me a little bit about what's behind you. What am I looking at?
That is actually an old water station. It was built in the 1800s and was demolished in 1949. I do believe, if I remember correctly, just outside of Detroit.
Nice.
Because I
Wow.
know you're from the Detroit area. I'm from
Yeah.
the Detroit area originally as well. So right over there in Berkeley, at Woodward and 12
Oh
Mile, I grew up
yeah.
on.
I love right by Rail Oak. I love that spot.
Oh yeah,
When was the
yeah.
last time you were back?
It's been a while. I
Okay.
need to go. I want to take my son there, and I want to take him during the fall season. I want to take him to a cider mill. I'm like,
Yeah.
you have no idea what it's like there going. Years ago, my dad ordered some, had it shipped frozen, real cider and real donuts from the cider mill. And my son
hmm
we'd gotten some cider in the grocery store here in Texas, but that's garbage.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah, my son, I gave him one little glass of it. He goes, I don't like cider. I don't like cider. He took one drink. His eyes got huge and he goes, can I have a bigger glass, please?
I'm ready. I want more. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that's changed, they're crazy busy now. I mean, and they've always been somewhat busy, but I'm talking like parking lots full. Lot. You got almost got to see if you can go during the week. So if you can take some vacation time during the week, get them out. It'd be worth pulling them out of school for a day to not go on a Saturday or Sunday.
Oh, no, he's no longer in school. He's
Oh,
20 now, so
then yeah,
it'll be perfect.
that'll work out really, really good. That's awesome. Very cool.
I'm
So
trying to take everything I'm learning from this, apply it to my business, and use that and be able to go in the fall. Hey, son, you know what? Been able to set aside a little money. We're
mhm,
taking a week vacation. Don't worry about it. I got everything covered.
I love that. I love it. Well, one thing I got to do, John, off to the side, let me make sure I get this captured for us for the session today. There we go. Um, but so here's what I love about this, John. If you're okay, let me ask you a couple questions. That'd be really great. Um, so you've been building the studio for a while, yours, I can tell, right? You had the pieces, you had the look. What was it about the last few days that made you say, you know what, I need to do it this way?
It just looks so much more professional. Everything looks such a better presentation. It's more immersive. It brings people in to become a part of it. And the things that you've taught me, what I've learned about, hey, live is great, live is nifty, but you're losing people because of that. I was talking to my good friend. We've been friends for over 25 years. He's the credit repair expert that I refer people to.
Mhm.
And of course, guess what? He's one of my most popular guests because so many people have questions about credit.
Yep.
He's agreed with me to do a once a month on the last Wednesday of every month on my show. And I talked to him and I was telling him what you were talking about. I said, Greg, we're still going to keep that show live. We'll still do that live. I said, but everything else is going to be pre-recorded. He goes, that's a great idea, actually. I said, yeah. Now I've got this new stuff. And what's funny is he's actually invested in a new computer. And I said, good. Maybe I'll get you to invest in a green screen. And Zach showed me yesterday what to do with my green screen because I bought the one that you had online. And he goes, just go to the hardware store and get a pole. Went there today. Don, I had to, I'll be honest. With tax, it was $5.10. It was a big extra additional investment.
But look what it is able to do for you now.
Oh yeah, I mean now I put it up and I was like, yep, Zach was right. It's perfect. It covers all the space I need to cover.
Yep.
I just got to get a better idea of remembering where my hands are. But Zach's already showed me how to adjust the width on it so I
Yep.
don't get that feel of it. And it's funny because all the stuff you've been showing, I'm now watching when I watch people on YouTube doing things, I'm seeing, okay, they're trying to do this, they're trying to do it that way. And then I'm excited about adding all the other things that you have in there. Like I've seen the video where you interviewed, I can't remember what her name was. She's not neurolinguistics, but she's more about reading the body signs.
Oh yeah,
And
Elena. We did that one recently. Yeah.
yeah, that was a really, really good interview, but I like how you brought in information about her. You brought her webpage in, you brought her upcoming seminar. I'm like, now I can add that when I interview a real estate agent.
Yep.
Now I'm adding even more value. And now the fact of Zach showed me where to go to get uh, uh, these reels and shorts done for virtually nothing. This
Mm.
other company I was paying almost $1,000 to, and that's all they did. And they just gave me four shorts and four reels, and that was
Well,
it.
was it $1,000 or was it recurring?
It was monthly,
$1,000 a month?
almost 1,000.
Almost yeah, something like 800, 900, something like that.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
month.
It was in. I mean, and I can't really complain because you know what?
Right.
He
Yeah.
he gave me the foundation of what I needed to build the car, and I kept
Mhm.
noticing and noticing. And I was telling Zach, I thought it was funny how this universe works. Shortly after I started doing it, and I started noticing, wait a minute, I think this guy's using all AI software to do all this stuff. I knew more about StreamYard than he did in the short time I've only been doing this since I think November. I've really been doing the live show since November.
Right.
And I'm like, wait a minute, he's doing this all with AI, making good money. And then I got your email
Hmm.
that came in and said, hey, I'm doing a class. You need to come to this. Okay.
Love it. So no names involved, but let me write down what you were. So this was your TV show, right? This was your podcast show. This was your show, and you got set up on StreamYard, right? Which
Correct.
is pretty simple to learn. There's not a whole bunch to it once you kind of get in there. There's more than you need, but you can learn StreamYard pretty easily. So you got set
I'll
up
be
on
honest with
StreamYard.
you. With the StreamYard this guy was using, he wasn't even paying for it.
Oh,
And because I kept, if I wanted to do other things, well, you have to upgrade to the paid account to do
ah,
this, this, and this. All it was giving me was the ability to go live to two destinations at once, which is fine. All I'm
yeah,
going to live now when I do live is YouTube and Facebook,
yeah,
which is working quite well for now. But I'm looking at it and going, this guy's not even paying for StreamYard.
right. Now, but you also got an overlay, right? You got like a design, right? I think it was and I've seen the show. It is like a side by side, right? So it's you and a guest, but you also do have like your branding, your logo. I mean, you have like a set kind of, right? A little bit.
Correct. And
Okay.
then it's got the guest's information above it, like who the guest's name is.
Yeah. So a branded overlay, right? Which that's cool. And then this gets changed every week for you with the weekly guest's name, right?
Correct.
All right. And then it just gets uploaded into StreamYard and it's there for you when you log in and they log in. Okay. And then you were getting the recording, or you were able to stream live with that StreamYard. You were getting the recording, so you could post it, right? And you were getting that just emailed you or sent to you. That wasn't getting posted for you. You were getting that sent to you.
I had to grab it out of StreamYard myself.
Okay, so that's part of StreamYard. Got it. But then you were getting short clips, about 4 or 5 or something short clips.
Right. A week or two later, he would send me an email with only 4 short clips that I would go in, and it was just on a Google Drive. And I'd grab those, download them, stick them on my computer, and then I'd take them and I'd put those shorts on my YouTube channel as well as on my Reels on Facebook.
Yep.
And then what I'd do to follow up with my prospects every week, I would send them a short and I'd send them the raw copy. And because I'm like, look, I want to send you the raw copy so you can take this and put it on your social media, so I didn't look like I was trying to brand myself over what they're doing.
No, that was you doing that, right? So
that's me doing all this.
Here's what I want to draw out. So because listen, it's only something this is a really great package. I mean, value is up for discussion, but it's a really great package from getting started. It was easy to do. You were able to do it. You got this going. You were doing it because you were able to interview. And I'm just telling everyone here, you're in the mortgage industry, and so you have relationships with people who are buying and selling homes, and trying to. I remember the hardest part of my life was trying to sell a home and buy a home at the same time. I thought buying my first one was tough. Nothing quite like having to sell one and buy one. People like you who are good at what they do, you are necessary in that process. So you're able to really use your network and interview probably realtors. You talked about credit, and so you're able to actually generate leads from this and leads for them. So it's also promotion. Now, were you charging them, or are you charging real estates and people to be on this show?
No,
not yet.
Because right now, just so you know, in the wonderful world of real estate, we're having a little fun time with the war. I don't want to get into all the details of what's going on, but it's not like it was just a few simple years ago.
Right.
Okay. So agents that are producing and doing something are just getting bombarded with people approaching them with marketing stuff, loan officers wanting them to have a cup of coffee with them, people trying to sell them the latest and greatest internet lead campaign nonsense, which I'll be honest, I've tried the lead campaign things from these other companies that charge thousands of dollars a month, mind you, to give you a lot of garbage.
Yep.
That's the reason I jumped on this with that other company was I was like, wait a minute, I understand this. This now gives me a reason to be calling these people and talking to these people because I now have something to bring to the table for them, not, hey, Don, do you have any borrowers you need me to help?
Almost nobody says no to, hey, I saw your expertise and I want to see if I can interview on my show and share that with my audience. Almost nobody says no to that, right? I mean, at least they reply.
Exactly. And you know what? Even the ones that have said no, and I think now that you've given me the insight of, hey, set it when it's good for them and good for you. That way it's in the can. Let them know that it's going to be pre-recorded. They can review it if they want to before you post it live. And then that way you have 3, 4, 5 in the can. And guess what? When I get more money coming in and can go do stuff and take a week or 2 off, I can already have these pre-canned ready to go versus, it's 11:30 on Wednesday and my guest is still not in the green room.
Right. What am I going to do? It's just not worth the stress, is it?
No. This makes it so much easier. I've already got my once a month guy, Greg, which we've been friends for over 25 years now. I mean, I know him and his wife, and he's a great guy, so I don't have to worry about any issues with him. And if something ever came up where he said, hey, I can't make it this Wednesday, great, let's put one in the can, Greg. We'll have it ready to rock and roll. It'll go as if it was live.
Bingo. So this process still makes a ton of sense. And even up until a couple days ago, I mean, you were at like 850 plus somewhere in there, but somewhere between that and maybe 900 per month. Where if I do some math, and this is just in my head, I mean, you're somewhere close to 10K a year doing this.
Correct.
Right? Just what you were paying to have the support here, which makes sense. Now, what I want to do, if it's okay with you, and I want to bring Zach into this discussion too, I want to tell you what you're able to do now that you took me up on the offer we made yesterday. And I'm going to maybe expand a little on, because I told everybody yesterday, I said, guys, I'm not going to like talk you into this. You're going to know it's for you or it's not. Tell me yes, tell me no. You're not going to hurt my feelings either way. But when I have a case, something comes up like this, what you're looking at and what anyone who invested in yesterday got as a bonus. And by the way, the cart's still open. That's fine. So you could still use StreamYard, but when we do OBS, so this is what you have. There's 3 critical scenes that you need, not just the side-by-side. You need an intro, right? You need the interview and the outro, because right now, if you could do an outro, but you'd have to do it in post-production, right?
Correct. I mean, the way I do my outro now is I've got some music that I put into StreamYard that I made sure that it's copyright free.
Yep.
I don't have to worry about any copyright strikes against me.
Yep.
And YouTube is still checking it and auditing it and said,
Every time.
oh, we've checked it. And it turns out the source where this came from says that you're allowed to post this without copyright infringement.
Yes, I say you got to be tight on that. Absolutely tight.
And if anybody's going to do anything on YouTube, especially with anything music, you literally have to make sure there's no copyright protection on it.
Absolutely.
It's not like the radio, because I've done radio stuff in the past, actual radio in the Houston area.
Yeah.
And I think it was like 25 seconds bumper music you were allowed to have without any copyright infringements or having to pay any royalties on it.
Yep. Then it went down to like 6 seconds, and then it's probably now down to 0. Or
yeah. And they typically wanted overlay over it, because I was always, when I did, I had a person I was helping out, and it was helping my business as well and giving me publicity. But I would always get on there, and he knew I would definitely have some, because I knew a lot of the guys running the board, and I would always have some very interesting bumper music.
Yep. So let me put Zach on the spot here. Zach, I'm gonna bring you into this discussion just for a second, okay? So
yeah, I was actually going to add something to that real quick on music infringement. Whether you're going on YouTube or Facebook, they both have free music libraries. And so if you go to YouTube's free music library, or you go to Meta's free music library and pull right from there, A+ if it's on both libraries, because then the other one's not going to hit you. Then you have the music from the get-go, and you're not going to run into it later and have to like rush around and fix it. So pull the music
Zach,
out of the
let's make
YouTube.
this simple though. Let's make this simple. So here's what I'm drawing up. I'm comparing what John was doing before for paying not $800 some bucks a month to what he's going to get now, and I'm going to put you on the spot on something that. And Zach, you can tell me no.
For sure.
Would you? Because you made my intro. So if I was going to interview the two of you, when I do the intro, it looks and sounds like this. Zach, can you play some intros you've made?
Absolutely, sure.
Yeah, play me some intros, and you can share your screen. I'll capture it here. Oh, unless you already got it programmed in. There you go. So the intro.
So that one is for
Lucky Larry,
obviously.
Yep. Can you play what else? What else you got programmed in? You've made a couple of these, a few of these.
I'm doing one, and actually I have to take the filter off real quick.
Yeah.
There we go. And now I'll play that one. Just, different feels. Obviously, one's very, friendly, warm, and open. The other one's like, ooh, what's going to happen next? And
on purpose, though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
On purpose. Yeah. So the idea, Zach, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit, because in the course I gave them with their own TV show is 3 basic generic intros, very basic intros. The different color schemes, but they're all very news related, right? So what I wanted to ask you is if you, and I'll pay you for it, would you make John a custom intro if he gets you an idea of what he's looking for?
Absolutely.
And I don't mean like 3 or 4 choices, but work with him a little bit. I mean, I don't know what it's probably going to cost me a good chunk of money, but would you make one for John? A custom intro that in his OBS, his first scene, he plays, doesn't have to do it in post edit. Does it if he's recording, he's still, we call it live. It's still a live interview. He's going to have an intro. The intro fades out and then he's there, just like Uncle Larry's did. He just puts his name there. Then the second part, Zach, would be like a what? Like a lower third. So if I brought you in to a news scene, the lower third here, and now you see how my last interview was Daniela Rousseau. So Rousseau, sorry Danielle, if she's here. I just messed up her last name, my fault. But instead of building a whole new overlay, John, literally all I have to do is just type over it. So I'm gonna type John. It was Money Man, right? John Money.
John Money McKinley.
See, you can even spell it wrong if you want to. John Money. And I could put and Zach. Right? So I could that's all it is. I just type over it and now I'm ready to go. So what pre-work was that? Was that 30 seconds? That's it. So Zach, would you then make a corresponding lower third for John?
For sure.
And John, whatever your branding colors, whatever the intro, it'll be cohesive. Right.
And I'll be honest with you, Don, the way you have this branding at the bottom looks so much better than what the other guy was doing for me, because all he was doing was putting the guest name. That was it. Really not giving any information about them, where here you have the bottom part. You can put expert, mortgage expert and technical expert, things
mortgage
like that.
expert,
that
mortgage and tech expert, just like that, right? So these two could be together. I can position them wherever I'd like. There we go. So and then by the way, I still put a logo above me. We're framed. We're doing a 2-person interview, just like if the news had 2 people to interview. If it was just one of you, all I would do, Zach, remove your pin just for 1 moment. So now it's just John and I. We do the interview. Now I've chosen now, John, think about this. If you did still do a few live ones and people wanted to join you, see across the top, we got Zach and Jerry and Sally, and we got Dr. Judy and Paula and Kathy. We have an audience watching us being interviewed here, don't we? Mm-hmm. Right? So if you wanted to have that aspect, you could, or you could just crop that out. I mean, literally, it's a push of a button. You crop that out, and now it's just us. But I kind of like the idea of you being able to invite people to your TV show. If you do maybe once a month, you do live, and they know it's there, or you invite them to the recordings. That's a possibility.
Well, one of the things that I want to do in the near future with my show is with my live show with Greg, because he's the credit expert, is I want to start taking live calls.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Where I can promote that. And I told Greg, I said, this will help your credit business as well.
Yep.
And Greg's already told me, just from the few times he's been on my show in the past, he's gotten deals out of it because he was dealing with a prospect not too long ago. He gave him his link to his website, which he's already put one of my shows on his website. Mm-hmm. And his response was, oh, you've already been interviewed. Oh, I see you're an expert.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I think the next part we need to look at would be, let me show you the outro. So when I do the outro, this is where you're going to get additional business, additional guests. Now, normally in my outro, I wouldn't talk. So I would mute.
Now, is this outro here? I'm assuming that's a pre-recorded outro, because that looks great. I love that outro there. Zooming, not really zooming in, but kind of overlooking at Command Central. I really think that just gives it a much, it gives it a more, this is coming from a real studio. I mean, and we perfectly candid here with everybody. I am sitting in the 3rd bedroom in my house.
I'm sitting in what used to be a bedroom in my house as well. Until my wife kicks me out and says, Don, go get an office. Right?
I mean, yes, I have an office because I have to have a physical address, but honestly, I really don't go there. And now that I'm able to take this to the next level,
Yep.
I can't tell you how excited I am about meeting with these new potential clients next week virtually and have them feel that they
Yep.
are literally sitting in my office.
I love
That's going to set it apart. Then they're going to go back to the realtor that referred them over to me and say, thank you so much for sending John Money McKinley our way, because there's not another guy out there doing what I'm going to do at this level.
Yep.
And now I can take it and meet one on one with all my clients versus just the phone call or versus the email, or it's going to be a much more personal, because
Yep.
I could even hear in this guy's voice how excited he was to get that feeling as if we were meeting one on one.
Hey, thank you for watching this video. And if this is the type of content you want to see from this channel, produced at this level, pulling back and revealing these secrets, subscribe to this channel, comment below, and or send me a message, and we'll create more content like this.